Hey gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey, and this is something high school me would have drooled over. I'm not gonna lie, 35-year-old me is pretty excited about this too. This is a 2004 Corvette C5, the last of the 5th generation. And in this video, I'm gonna tell you why you should or shouldn't drive the dream car of your high school years. All right, starting under the front hinged hood is what makes this vehicle so special. The 5.7 liter LS1, 350 cubic inches, producing 350 horsepower and 360 pound-feet of torque. At least that's what the manufacturer rated them at from the factory. This one also has an upgraded exhaust and a SLP Blackwing intake up front. Sounds good. And she pulls very hard, rowing through that 6-speed manual transmission that makes this thing so special. Another thing that makes the C5 Corvettes so special that you won't get on any subsequent model, pop-up up and down headlights. You gotta love it. Just something from an era gone way by. Look at. She's just happy to see you. Pop-up and down headlights. They're so great. But this Corvette is stunning in my opinion because this was the Corvette I dreamed of in high school. What is absolutely crazy to me is you have that big 5.7 liter V8 here under the hood, and that's a nostril and that's a nostril right over there. Everything else, like, how else do you expect this thing to breathe? Yeah, I could barely put my hand in the intake of this. Nowadays, grills take up 90% of the front of vehicles. Here, we've got just a couple of very small openings just to keep that long wedge shape of this C5 Corvette. You do get staggered wheels here on the side. You get 245/45 R17 up front and 18-inch wheels in the back. So a little more of a performance bent because, I mean, after all, it is a Corvette. Hopping inside here, first I will point out a lot of part sharing does happen in this era General Motors product. My mom's 98 Pontiac Grand Prix had the exact same door handle, but we'll forgive that for right now. Looking inside, we have a two-tone interior that is classic mid-2000s General Motors. It creaks if you look at it wrong. It makes a lot of noise, in fact, when you get in. In fact, I'm gonna pop in here and, oh, yep. So you just kind of fall into it. We've got a Bose stereo system with a CD changer, both here and a 12-disc in the trunk. We'll get to that in a little bit. You've got some modern amenities. You've got a very large heads-up display. You can't see it right now. You've got a dash-mounted key ignition, so the fact that it's dash mounted instead of steering wheel column mounted is a fairly modern touch. You get a laughable cup holder under this little flap here, but you know, typical mid 2000s General Motors product. It's comfortable in here. You can find a good seating position and then save it because it has 2-person memory in it. I'll talk about it a little bit later, just what it's like riding down the road in this as I drive it. But you get about what you expect from a mid-2000s General Motors product. And you get this cool Corvette emblem on the waterfall back behind me. Being a convertible model, you get this large flat deck lid. The coupe models had a fastback style rear glass that came back to the rear bumper cover. Also, 4 round Corvette taillights, oval in shape, but also an icon that has slowly drifted away in subsequent years. And of course, to let everyone know what it is you're driving, Corvette script back on the back. And then I mentioned the aftermarket exhaust placed on this one. Let me hop in and fire it up and give you a quick listen. right, we can't talk Corvette without talking about the trunk. Chevy engineers have long bragged about how you can get 2 sets of golf clubs in the trunk of a Corvette, and that is very true here. You can see I've got my backpack placed in the back of this convertible model for reference, but even still, you have more storage that isn't immediately obvious because there is a very large removable panel here that does have your 12-disc CD changer and a couple of magazines for your convenience, you know, when you're blasting tunes on the road and you get tired of the CD that's in the head unit. You also get a couple of removable side panels here with a little bit more storage down below. Obviously, GM engineers sought a flat load floor more than just going all out for spaciousness. And again, their priority, 2 sets of golf clubs. You even get a pass-through from the cabin behind both of these seats in the Corvette. So if you are on a road trip and have something back here in the trunk that you want to grab really quickly, as long as you can get it out from around the seat, if you're riding with somebody, or there is a rear release on the back of that front seat to fold it forward, and then you can quickly grab something out of the front. All right, gearheads, setting off in the 2004 Chevy Corvette convertible. If high school me could see me now, oh my goodness. I cannot tell you how in love I was with this car through my formative years. So I graduated high school in 05. Yeah, I'm that old. And this car was on the wish list, the dream list. This 2004 model is the last of the 5th generation Corvette. And by my standards today is probably one of the last, like, truly just gotta have it nostalgia Corvettes. It's the last Corvette with pop-up up and down headlights. It's got oval taillights in the back. It's got a very loud aftermarket exhaust. It's got 350 under the hood, making 350 horsepower, and it's just great. It's got a proper 6-speed manual, which, you know, they always say you should never meet your heroes. I'm not saying that the 04 base Corvette is my hero, but I had it on a pedestal. I make no bones about it. I'm a GM fanboy of the era because, again, it was a dream car of my formative years. And this one shows me why. Oh my goodness. Rowing through the gears on this one is so much fun. And yeah, it's a mid-2000s General Motors product. It creaks, it rattles. The build quality is not what you get in a modern Corvette by any means. People have roasted the weird rubber membrane that they put on the window switches and locks on the door panels. There's just so much plastic inside this Corvette. It's almost not even funny. But putting all that aside, there are some rather advanced things in here. You've got a heads-up display that's rather large, that is performance-oriented because it's got a sweeping tack on it, a very large digital readout of your speed, your fuel gauge, and what else do you need up there in front of you? You've got a competent stereo system in this one. It is definitely parts bin sharing with the other General Motors vehicles of the time, but this one's got a Bose stereo. It sounds all right, not gonna lie. Turned it on and it was playing Nickelback. Just felt right. As does this. Oh my goodness. This thing. Woo! I love it. It's good. It is so much fun. This shifter, it's not short throw by any means. It's much longer than I expected it to be. I'm gonna put it in 6 here and just cruise. It's a longer throw shifter than I thought. It could benefit from a short throw shifter. I'm not gonna lie on that one. The steering wheel feels big, like the diameter of it is huge, and that doesn't feel very sporty by today's standards. But again, this is a sports car of my adolescent years, and it pretty much lives up. I'm giggly just from nostalgia's sake on this one. Back to interior amenities. Dual zone climate. I mentioned the heads-up display. You've got a speedometer that goes to 200. Haven't tried that one out yet. That would be fun. Build quality. Again, I did take this through a high-pressure drive-through car wash. Might have gotten a little wet. It is a convertible. You just know what you're getting there. But this particular one, I was just blown away when I picked up the keys to it, because I'm so used to this era General Motors product, the key fob, all the buttons being worn down so you can't even see what each of the buttons do. This one was clearly somebody's weekend toy, because as an 04 model, it only has just over 34,000 miles on it, which is unbelievable for a vehicle of this age. This one's kind of got me dreaming about what could be. If you followed me for any length of time, you know this would never make it up my driveway. I've got a 15-degree incline. The low nose on this would never make it, which is just a travesty unto itself. But as far as having a fun weekend toy, this is it. I like it. I'm smitten. I was smitten from the moment I saw it in the showroom, and now even more so, because, oh my goodness, this thing's fun. I might have seen over 105. I'm in Mexico, Eric. I know you're in law enforcement for now. So, yeah, the interior is nothing to write home about, but that's not why you're buying this. The center console is shallow enough for a few notebook pads, pieces of paper. The cup holder is laughably shallow and small, and this has an ashtray and an actual cigarette lighter in it. Like I said, things creak and rattle, but I don't care. I don't care. I like it. It puts a huge smile on my face. I very much approve. This has made for a very fun day for me. I like it. All right, final thoughts. I like it. I like it a lot, but that's no surprise. I liked it when it came out, and this particular one has aged very well. With only 34,000 miles on the clock, it was somebody's weekend toy, and it's still quite fun nearly 20 years later. If you want to take this one home, you can, thanks to our friends at House of Cars here in Tyler, Texas. We'll link their website down below. Now, I know what you're saying. The new Corvette is so much better, and the interior is head and shoulders above this one. Trust me, I know, I've driven one. Go check it out. And the performance of the new ones is just insane. But that LS1 V8 under the hood of this one has earned the reputation that it has. Mated to a 6-speed manual, which you can't even get anymore in a Corvette, makes this one quite the find. And with the pop-up headlights from a rad era gone way by, it's actually quite a little bit of nostalgia for this guy right here. All that said, this would be a perfect toy for someone who wants a little bit of fun on the weekends. Sounds kind of like me. Bye.